Hello everyone, welcome to this session, this special series on Dingsplatz. We have already done 7 sessions on Dingsplatz. Today is the 8th session, or probably the 7th session, I'm not sure. But coming few sessions, about 2 or 3 sessions, we'll be using the same string, but in a different way, right? For example, till now we have arranged the Dingsplatz string in the form of a flower. Today we will just do 4 loops, right? Then we will do only 3 loops, and then probably we'll do a double loop, right? So I'll show you how and what I'm talking about. So let's get started with today's session. So I'm going to use a boulder nib to draw my Dingsplatz so that it stands out, and then we are going to tangle all around as we have done in all the previous sessions. So let's go ahead and draw the loop first. So what I'm going to do is start randomly and just make 4 loops. Something like this. Yes, so I'm not creating a flower this time. And let's get started. How do we first? Let's pen it. So yeah. So make sure you draw a nice flowy string, not bothering too much about how, what, where, whether the loops look the same or not, because it's a fun string and the loops need not be looking same, and since we have changed it to only 4 loops, so it will be different in shape. Yeah, so let's get started right away. Let's tangle. So what I'm going to do is in the center I'm going to start with a fragment. Yeah, so now it's time to change the pen again to a micron 01. Yes, so I'm now going to start with a fragment. So it looks somewhat like a variation of diva dance. It is basically diva dance arranged in this section. And then I'm going to add some thin and thick auras. Right, so I have drawn one thin line in between. Now I have added a thicker line. Again I'm going to add a thin line. Again going to add a thicker line. So alternating thin and thick lines, lines with some extra ink and a normal line. That's what I'm going to do. It's no hard and fast rule that it has to be one line in between which is thick, one line thin. You can draw it in any fashion. Sometimes it looks like gorgeous, sometimes it looks like diva dance, whatever you wish to relate it to, but that's how it looks like. Yes. Now moving on to the other side. Again I'm going to add some extra ink to some of the lines and keep some of the lines just the way they are, thin. Take your time. You can rotate your tile if you are not comfortable drawing that way. Again a thin line, again a thicker line. Yes, you generally draw your gorgeous also in this fashion. If you wish to, you can in fact draw your gorgeous also like this. And that's it, right? So that is the center portion. Now the loops, we shall see what do we want to do inside the loops. First let us deal with the spaces outside the loop. So I'm going to add 2 lines like these, create a section in between the loops, somewhat similar in width but not too bothered about what is the width. Right, and then I'm going to add a tangle called pressed wood. Yes, so what I'm going to do is add these curvy lines inside each of these sections. In case you are new to the tangle, we have done a video on how to draw the tangle pressed wood in our Tangles by CZT's series. But I am going slow, I am drawing slowly, so you can watch me how to draw in case you are new to the tangle. So once we are done with that, now I am going to create further loops inside like this and probably ink the innermost loop. Yes, so first move in one direction like this, and then again I will do the same exercise on the other side. You can add any number of auras inside, depends on the spaces you have. Yes, and then the last one here. So that's how the tangle pressed wood looks like. These spaces you can either ink or you can just add some auras there, just adding a V shape. Yeah. Moving on to the next, again add one more aura, add another aura. You can add 3, 4, whatever you feel like. Spaces are small, so whatever spaces are available, I'm just going with that. Take your time, slowly do that exercise. You can also ink this space if you wish to. I think it will look nice. Yeah. Some bit of black there. And then I'm going to do the same for the rest of the two. There are many similar tangles to pressed wood, something like onion drops, cruffle. They work on similar strokes. So you can choose any. Take your time. Slowly. Do that for all of the sections here. Yeah, one more left. So I am done with that exercise of drawing pressed wood all around. Now comes this section. So it is up to us what we want to add. Let us first add something inside the loop. So I am going to add muka today inside the loops. So started with the tangle muka with the heads, the pods. Just curl them inside. That's the way we generally draw the tangle muka. A one stroke tangle, a beautiful triangle to draw. Just going with the shapes of the loop. Come back, again go back, again come back, go back again, depending on whatever spaces you have. Just fill in the space with these loops, with these curls. I think that's enough. Yeah. And the fourth one here. That was fun. Yeah. So now the rest of the space entirely up to you. How do you want to deal with those space? Choose any tangle of your choice. For example, you can go with some Senna. Yeah. So I'm going to start drawing Senna. You can fill all the four sides with Senna only. So let's start with an S shape, and then I'm going to start right away with the tangle Senna, and I'm going to add some nice weight towards the end of the line. Yeah. So Senna is again a totally aura based tangle. I have done an entire series on how to draw the tangle Senna, but you can watch me. I have taken an S as a reference line, and now I'm going to just start to draw lines from one side in just about any fashion I feel like. It's just about auras and nothing else. However, what I'm doing is I'm adding a slight weight towards the end of the line. Nothing but a V shape and then filling it in. Yes. Draw the line, add a V and fill it in. Now I'm going to add a nice curl here. Take your time, slowly. Press your pen a little harder as you start the line here. So I'm extending it to the end of the tile. Up to you. If you want to start with the border, please go ahead. So this tangle requires patience. It's pure line work. It's pure auras with some extra ink here. Even if you don't do that, it's fine. You can maneuver the lines whichever way you wish to. They can be straight, they can be curvy. Whichever way you want to draw it. Be patient, take your time. Don't haste up. I'm now switching, drawing further lines. You can also curl it in if you want, something like this. Yeah, a small curl there. So now I'm going to add the same tangle in the rest of the sections. Yeah, so let's now start with a C this time. Again, start drawing the lines. They can be close, they can be far, that's fine. It's entirely your choice. How do you want to? It's not actually possible to replicate this tangle because there are so many lines involved. So just take a cue and give it your own touch. Doesn't matter if it doesn't look the same. It will not look the same, in fact. But I just want to show you how I am drawing it, how we are taking out the lines, how we are giving a curl to the lines. So take your time and slowly go ahead and fill up the rest of your tile with this beautiful tangle. Yes, so give me a little time. I'm going to just do some line work here. I will keep these for the ends. If you want, you can add a little touch of extra ink there, but probably it would be nice to keep that for the ends. Yes, so we can continue from here also. So I'll see you in a jiffy. So I'm now in the last lap, almost finishing on the fourth side, and you can see how beautiful the tangle looks like, and it is nothing but pure line work. Tangle pattern Senna. So you can take the lines wherever you wish to, whichever way you want to draw. It's just about repeating lines, repeating auras. And that's about it. Yeah. So we are done with that. Let us now move on to shading. So again, highlight the inside. For that, just make the edges dark so that they recede. Quite dark, yes, so I really pressed my pencil hard so that I add a lot of darkness at the edges and my center gets highlighted. It pops up just like a pillow. Yes, then we move on to our pressed wood. Good idea to add graphite on both sides just like a border. Make sure you leave the center white and you don't blend it too much. So today we just limited the number of loops to our Dingsplatz to just 4, right? And it kind of got a square kind of a shape inside, somewhat square. Depends on how you draw the loop. But try drawing it in a fun way and not too systematic, because it will get its wonky look only when you draw it in a fun way. As far as your mukas are concerned, I'm going to darken one side. Add a light shadow on the other just to make sure that it stands out from its background. But going to darken one side like this. Take your time. Just a light touch on the other side. Probably what is already there on your stub is sufficient for that. Yeah, like that. And Senna, it's very simple to shade. Where you started from, just highlight that shape from where the lines are emerging. Wherever there are intersections, you can add some bit of graphite there. Basically, places from where lines are emerging is where we shade our Senna. Looks the best. Almost looks like a whirlpool. So I'm keeping the around of the Senna white, but if you want, you can enclose this space also. But I don't want to add too much of graphite on the outside. If you just want, you can give a slight touch at the edges. Probably what is already there on your stub is sufficient to do that, or you can just touch your pencil at the edges. And then just blend it so that the edges are not absolutely white and there is a shadow there. That's about it. If you have your chalk, then just highlight the center where you have not added graphite. It will add a little more to your tile. And that's about it. If you want, you can highlight the other side of your muka where you have not added the graphite. You can add the chalk, a little bit of it. And that's about it. I don't think we need to do. So that was a fun wonky Dingsplatz with just 4 loops. I'm going to be closing my tile here. Put in my chop sitting cozily inside the mocha. Yes. Sign and date your tile. Always. Put in a comment if you wish to. You can embellish it a little more. You can place some black pearls or dewdrops, whatever you feel like. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to close it here. So I'll see you again in the next session where we use Dingsplatz with 3 loops only. Till then, have a good time. Bye-bye.